let's talk about the game for a minute. There are um, three things that right now I'm looking at. The game is in a really good state. I'm actually really happy with it. It's fun to play. It's got bugs. It's got issues. It got things that need to be done. I'm happy with where it is, but it's still a game that's very much in development. And this is the stage in development that if you look at a game, it goes through stage one and stage. There's all these sort of terminology that game developers use of it's going to be a vertical slice or a alpha or a beta or blah blah blah. The honest truth is when you're making, there's just two kinds of games you can make. You can make a game that's already been made before or a game that hasn't been made before. If you're making a game that's already been made before, okay, I'm going to make a first-person shooter, but this one's set in the jungle. Right, that one you can follow the sort of normal rules because you don't have to do the large period of experimentation to figure out whether or not the game's going to be good or not. If you're doing something more experimental, something where you're not sure if the core game itself is going to be good or interesting, there's a big period at the beginning of the game where you're proving that thing. You're just saying, is this game going to be fun? Is this game going to be interesting? I think we've gotten to the point where we've sort of said, yeah, the game is pretty much fun. This game is pretty much interesting. If you spend 10 minutes on this game, you get pulled into it and you think, oh, this is cool. This is fun. That thing is there. We're now at the second stage. And the second stage is, how can we make this more fun? It's already fun. It's already good. This is now no longer, I'm beyond the point where I'm like, I'm not sure if this game's even a good idea or not. We're past that. It's a good idea. The question now is, why is it not amazing? What stops this game from being amazing? And this is a long period of development for a game that hopes to be a very good game. It doesn't go quickly. You're going to spend a lot of time here. It's going to be very frustrating. Team's going to be frustrated. People are going to wonder, why do we keep changing stuff? People are going to wonder, why don't we just make the game? Why don't we just finish it? Blah, 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 blah. You're going to go through all those battles. But you have to go through those battles because the problem is your game is good, but it's not great. And only great games make money. Good games don't make money anymore. And so we have to get the game to the point where it's great. And the difference between a good game and a great game is honestly playing it over and over and over again. And at the end of every play session, asking yourself, what was fun? What wasn't fun? What irritated me? What did I enjoy doing? How do I get rid of the things that irritate me? How do I make the things that irritate me better? And how do we make the things that are fun more? How do we do more of that? How do we make the fun things even more fun? And it's a iterative process, and you just have to go over it and over it and over it and over it. And it's painful and it's expensive and it's hard for the team because a lot of people on the team who don't get that, they get in a mental state where they say, I just want to finish this game. Why are we still working on this? Why is it not done yet? This is how good games get made. It's a hard stage to be in. So I've been playing the game a lot lately. I've been playing it single player. I've also been playing it with a team. A little later today, we're going to play a multiplayer game. When we get to the multiplayer game session, I'm going to turn on some music and we're going to, enjoy the game and have fun. And we're not going to put that up on the stream because nobody cares about it. But after every gameplay session, I've had to sort of ask myself, what are the core features of the game? I've got lots of little notes. This is broken. Blah, blah, blah. You can do all that, and you can get yourself caught up in the minutia. You can get yourself caught up in the, we could move this thing over here. We could change that. But I'm still interested in the big questions. What is making this game not what it can be? Right now, I've got 4 things that are big issues. Number one, the whole concept of fortification in the game is not working well right now. And I'll show you what I mean. Let me pull up the game real quick. So let's go play a quick skirmish game. It doesn't matter what we play. Here's a brand new map I made. So when a unit is sitting on top of a castle or any sort of land, they actually get a bonus to their hit points because they're fortified, right? And we used to have that set with a little castle over their head and a little number up here. And the problem was because the number was up here, I always missed it. And Ben went in, and I actually really like what Ben's done. Ben went in and moved. And sometimes the changes can be this small. I'm going to see today in the playthrough whether or not this seems to have fixed it. But Ben has moved and he's put this little +5 here, which means he's got a +5 fortification bonus because he happens to be sitting here next to or on top of this city. If I were to move him over to this port over here, you'll notice that bonus goes away because you're not fortified on a port. If I were to summon some craftsmen here inside the city, you will see, hello craftsmen, that they get that same fortification bonus. If somebody were to come attack them, those 5 fortification hit points would be lost first before they lose their normal hit points. So it's kind of like they're protected here inside their little fortress. I'm hoping that this change is enough to fix it. And sometimes it's a little change. Sometimes a little change is enough. I worry we might need to make that text a little bit bigger, but we'll see. That I at least can clearly see, oh, there's some stuff going on with him. And it's not up here where it used to be. It's down here in a new place. So hopefully that's enough to make a difference. So that was problem number 1. And that was our solution for number 1. Number 2, stealth is deeply issued right now. I'm not sure. There's some bugs involved where I keep getting sniped by stealth units that I feel like I should be seeing, and I'm not seeing them. We need to get that fixed. That's a huge problem in the game. Stealth right now in the game is no fun. I am concerned that stealth in general is not a particularly exciting thing. I'm worried that at some level stealth just isn't that fun. Jumping onto a place and finding out, oh, there's a guy here that I didn't see and he killed me. That's in general not fun. Having somebody shoot me from out of the woods that I can't see and not know where I'm getting shot from, that's in general not fun. Now, it's fun if you're the guy in the woods and you're like, aha, I got him. But I'm not sure that it's fun to have it done to you. So we're going to look at the stealth mechanic. I don't have any great solutions right now on what we're going to do about the stealth mechanic, but in general, I think the stealth mechanic needs some work, and I need to figure out what we do there. So that's one of the things on the list of stuff we need to fix. The third thing, I'm noticing, and this is something actually, if Helios is watching this, if you make it all the way here, over in Discord, Helios has been talking a number of times that he's concerned about the randomness of the game. And the randomness doesn't come from the combat model. The combat model has very little randomness left in it. There's some randomness to how much artillery and missile weapons do, but that seems to be fun. We like that part of it. The randomness that's remaining right now is because the units can actually move quite quickly. For instance, this mounted unit can get anywhere in any one of these spaces. It's a little bit confusing to know, where's this guy going to end up, right? And if I'm trying to, figure out, for instance, where this guy is going to go, there's a lot of places he can be. And because there's so many places he can be, trying to come up with a plan for, I'm going to put this guy here to block this damage from that, blah, 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 actually becomes quite difficult. And so the end turn resolution has a sort of, randomness is the wrong word, but an unpredictableness of so many people can move so far that there's so many possible endpoints that trying to pin down a unit and that sort of thing has become quite difficult. I don't have a great solution for that right off the bat. I'm working on a better solution for that. That one I don't have an answer to. One thing that I'm one thing that I'm thinking of doing to make it better is I'm thinking of limiting the movement a little bit. Right now, if you are a mounted unit, Silvio here, you can see he's riding a horse, so he's a mounted unit. A mounted unit has a movement of 2, and that movement of 2 is, the roads actually only eat 0.5 movement points. Now, the reason the roads eat 0.5 movement points is because we want these guys who have a movement of 1 to be able to move further on a road. That makes sense, right? So if we say you can usually move 1 hex, but if you're on a road, you can move 2 hexes, then if you have a movement to 2, that means on a road, you can actually move, there's Silvio. On a road, you can actually move quite a few hexes. In fact, 4, which is, as you can see, all those blue hexes, that's a lot of places for that guy to be able to go. And it creates randomness is the wrong word. It creates an unpredictability that is not as fun as we hoped it would be. Where I think actually limiting that back down to maybe mounted guys, instead of having a movement of 2, have a movement of 1.5, which means they can only move 3 hexes on roads, but they would still be limited off-road to moving the same distance as a unmounted unit. That might be something we play with. I'm looking around at solutions and how this all works. I don't have full answers just yet. But one of the problems is the way the game works right now, it actually takes the unit movement and rounds it. So I can't give somebody a unit movement of 1.5 right now. It doesn't actually work. So anyway, I got to look into that. That's a thing. That's thing 3. Thing 4 is polish and effects. We had some people who don't play the game very much play the game recently or look at the game on stream. If Tony's watching, hey, Tony. And they gave us a lot of great feedback about things that they wanted to see in terms of effects that they're not seeing. Things like if I shoot some, let's say I get some artillery units here. Hello, artillery. Let me end turn real quick. They were saying if I've got artillery and my artillery is shooting, why do we not see some craters or blackened earth where I shot my bullet, right? So right here I see, boom. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if there was like for a couple turns, a little crater there or something like that where I could see. I don't know if we can do craters or whatnot, but I think there's a lot of those kind of effects. Another question was when I shoot artillery, if I shoot artillery into the water, why don't I see a water splash, right, as an effect? And that's certainly something we can do. But it's polished. And I'm not sure that we get to all of that right now, but I think it's time for us to put together sort of a hit list of here's all the things that we could do to kind of make the game polished. Here's the top 5. Here's the things that would make the most bang for buck difference and really make the game better. Maybe we dig in and do some of those and see if that really ups the value, the perceived value of the game. So that's something that we're talking about. So those are sort of the 4 things that I'm looking at right now.